Yeah. uh-huh. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's, pounds. Catch me in no trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that truth serum hooked directly through your veins. Hey, this is for my people. Tune in, catch it closer. Closer. A closer. Grabs of it. Tune in, catch it closer. Pounds of it. Pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters of pounds, get your dosed up.
Yeah. I like all that. Is it right there to my right?
What's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy Money Mitch, man, aka Sanchez. No ice.
No, okay. And I got Lab to the front on them ones and twos, y'all.
That's right.
All right, man. So the show, I think it's called Dosed Up. It's Monday night. It's 8 o'clock. We back at it, but this the first started out last year Black History Month in February. But Black History right here, that's a lifestyle for us. We don't wait on no month to celebrate this thing. Each day we wake up and our feet hit that soil. We stand firm in our culture, our heritage, what we believe in, and just being black. So with that being said, power to my people. We finna set this thing off today. So weekend check, you know what I'm saying, recap or whatever. Your boy, I worked. So I saved a few lives, you know what I'm saying? I felt good about that.
Okay.
This time, you know, I was playing around rather than doing what I normally do as far as being like inventory. I had to work in the IV room. So I just wanted to see how many labels that I came across, you know what I'm saying, which were patient labels that I did. And I did over about like 50 of them. So I look at it like that's 50 people's lives that I've changed or helped that didn't necessarily want to be in that position or situation that day, you know what I'm saying, in the hospital. Other than that, you know what I'm saying, I talked to my usual people about what I got going on for this week and what I had going on for this episode right here. And so with that, you know, I'd like to shoot it over there to my partner Chessie and hear what he maybe had going on that weekend.
Yeah, man. The same pretty much working. I had a catering gig. I catered a Galentine's affair for one of my homegirls. Shout out to Kat, who hired me to cater her Galentine's girlfriend's affair. I didn't even really know that was a thing, but I learned this weekend. I saw like a lot of women celebrating Galentine stuff with they female friends and things of that nature. Other than that, man, I watched basketball, which is something I rarely do these days until
like Curtis blowing it bitch
until the playoffs, man. I watched my Celtics, man. So what was that, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, yesterday.
You and that green pride
watched my Celtics,
leprechaun
man.
come back with me gold.
Oh, and also, man, I went and kicked it with my homegirl Cha-Cha, man.
Y'all ain't do no sliding, did y'all?
Nah, local DJ, man. It was my girl Cha-Cha little birthday. So after I finished working all day Saturday, I slid and celebrated with her, her birthday with her, man. So shout out to Cha-Cha, man. Happy birthday again. What you get into, Lab?
Oh, Saturday. You know, Saturday's my only day off, really.
Yeah.
I did shows Sunday, Westside Misfits, and the Shantastic Storm on Sundays. Usually, the real Westside BMU come through, but they didn't come through this week. On Saturday, I picked up a friend of mine from a DJ event he had, and then we went over to his house and we kind of set up for a new adventure with Misfits Radio and his little company ATLX. Going to be like a situation called Move, where we're gonna have video of the 100-foot screen behind us while we have several different DJs come through and DJ and stuff like that. So we're just trying to get an idea of how it's going. And then we also, then on Sunday, I got with the guy who does the cake and paint. So we probably gonna do something with them as with Misfits Radio and try to set that collaboration up. I'm trying to do more things with people with Misfits Radio so we can collab on a few things. So, try to get the name out there a little bit more. But the only problem is that, I only have Saturdays as a free day because I do shows every day of the week. So it's kind of a little bit hard to collaborate on a lot of things. But I'm going to try to work it out. If I can get some people to collaborate with me on Saturdays, we come out and live stream some stuff and do stuff like that, then that'll be great. If
I'm
not,
down.
We'll try to figure out some other stuff, and
I'm waving
see what
that
we
flag,
can do.
Misfits flag.
Yeah, so
What's up, little Mitch and Tiff?
we forgot Slick always in the building.
I see you, Slick,
what's up,
waving
Slick?
already. What's up,
Alicia?
Alicia?
What's up, Slick?
We were gonna ask you what you did for the weekend, Slick.
Yeah, Slick, you can type that up, dog. You know what I'm saying? I know you did something though, and I know you were online with a lot of these other Misfits podcasts and things like that, because you definitely show support. That's one thing. Hey man, the topic is leadership, and I don't know if you consider yourself as a leader, Slick, but you are to me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I admire what you do. You really give me your time, and you give everybody your time. You reach out. Everything that we supposed to be doing, you do.
Right.
So I definitely salute and respect that, Slick. I know you upstairs somewhere, but I see them hearts coming. Yeah. That's to you though, Slick. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I might as well go on ahead and get right on into it. Like I say, and like I led last week, I wanted this to be about leadership, and what better way to start it off in Black History Month, which is why you see me like this and it's black. But like I say, I'm black every day. Leadership, man, it's something that I'm doing, and I'm doing it naturally. I stumbled upon this thing. I still don't even think I'm a leader. I didn't want to be a leader. I got into college by saying I didn't even want to be a leader. Only lasted a semester, but I remember it like it was yesterday. A dude named Mr. Twiggs saw something in me, man. Fresh off the street, still street. Came in there. I was in a journalism program for CAU Clark, and he was asking me, I got a question for you. If you had the chance to be a leader, would you? And I said, man, I don't want to be a leader or a follower. So he immediately was just like, whoa, can you explain that to me? And I was like, well, okay, the leaders most of the time are chosen by the followers.
Right.
That's a lot of pressure, and you can lead the followers down a wrong path. Now you're accountable for all of that.
Right.
And then I said the followers are just as lost if you're going to let somebody lead you, and they may not be leading you in a proper way. Right. I ain't never been a follower. Right. So I was like, I just create my own lane. But, as I'm looking into certain leadership qualifications and qualities, I kind of check off with a lot of those now. But back then when I told him that, that actually got me in the program, because he was like, man, I ain't never heard nobody say nothing like that to me in my life, coming from like a little 15, 16-year-old. So with that being said, I guess I always had some foresight of being kind of different and knowledgeable with this. And Chesney?
Man, coming I talked about it on a previous show about moving from my area where I kind of grew up until I was 9 to Southwest Atlanta. So when I moved to my neighborhood, kind of really being square, like real square, and going to public school, like I looked up to the guys in my neighborhood. Like back then, things were like so different. Behind my middle school, it was a basketball court, and it's funny because it wasn't like it was a nice basketball court. It had one basketball goal. It wasn't like no lines on the court. Okay. But every day, like all of the guys that were like of younger age, my age, we would kind of all be sitting off to the side, and we'd wait to get to play. And every now and then, an older guy would like let the little kid come on over here and play. And for us, it was a safe space. Like even like I always tell a story. I don't know if my boy Ant is watching, but Ant Corleone is watching. But he would see us walking home from the court. Some of us might have stayed a little bit further from the court. And nowadays you definitely probably wouldn't do this, but get in the car with somebody, but here, you want to ride, boom, take us home, make sure we got home safe. Right. It was just real community, man. So as I got older in the same neighborhood and the kids were younger, we had a real popular recreation center in our neighborhood too. We called a rec. And we had Mr. Ward, Dr. Ward was there, Big C. People who grew up in my neighborhood. We had 2 strong black men in our neighborhood. Okay. Who just basically if we were latchkey kids, a lot of us were latchkey kids.
I think
They
most
watched
of us
us,
growing up
yeah.
back then
You know, they watched us until our parents came home, and you know, that was just the thing to do. Like, we really hung out there. It was a real sense of like just camaraderie, and that was kind of what raised us. So like everything that I've done, and I hate that I'm not as active as I used to be with the neighborhood youth. These kids are just a little bit different.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
It's a little bit different. But everything that I was doing previously, you know, with the youth in my neighborhood, you know, it was just kind of a payback. You know, like they would tell me, even at my age, like, hey, when you get older, the same things that we do for y'all, the same, you know, we buy y'all juice, or we buy you this, or you buy, do that with the kids. So that was just kind of like what I was doing in regards to trying to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Yep, absolutely.
So what made me start kind of like at least embracing being somewhat of a leader, man, I would say would be my past and my heritage. Like when my dad broke down and explained to me that we are literal descendants from people that walked the trail, but relatives that walked the Trail of Tears, and telling me I got Cherokee and Blackfoot in me, man. Like, I'm like, wow, man. I mean, you know, to see what the struggle or understand what they have come from, and to know that that's in my lineage, and to see what I've seen in my life and some of the perils and, like I can say, obstacles and hindrance of our plight. I can't say I can relate exactly to what they went through, but I can see it's time, you know what I'm saying? I'm charging all of that in me, and I want to accept this. You know, I'm new to it, but it ain't nothing that I can't be used to.
Okay.
A lot of the times you inadvertently lead when people look up to you, and you don't know that they look up to you. And that can be like you say, with Chezzy was younger, you know, or people just think you're cool and they can be your peers, and they admire that. A lot of times people can see something in you that they see in themselves, but they're not necessarily willing to act on it like how you're acting on it.
Okay.
Which puts you in like a leadership role. And so with all of that being said, I kind of like have, I would say like 20 kind of like characteristics of what defines a leader or leadership. And one of them would be integrity. And so the definition of that is like the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that you refuse to change. And so I'm definitely that. I was telling Chezzy on the way here, like, there's a lot of things I check off with being a leader, but there are some things that qualifies that, like the empathy. I'm an empathetic type person, but I also believe you might have to get your feelings hurt to learn a lesson. You see what I'm saying? And in the way of leading, sometimes it'd be like, hey, bro, it's tough love, man. I had to go through it. If I'm going to lead the way I'm going to lead, you're going to have to go through it too. I mean, and that might not be what other people like. A lot of things I like to do, like I'm about to start implementing exercising, like physical strength as well, to be able to lead, to be able to help, to be able to physically pull someone up by the bootstraps and help them if I have to. A lot of people want to they shun from all that exercise and cardio and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, why can't I just, you know, follow you but not have to do all of that? So, you know, I have to have the mentality to be able to include a lot of people, even though, you know, I have to sacrifice certain things myself and bring myself to a certain level to be able to be in this position. Accountability is another one. And that's basically like the willingness to accept responsibility. Now, I'm saying this because we all don't have to be leaders to be able to be accountable, because we work. And I'm a stickler for being accountable for the job that I do. My job is my signature. I want it so that you know when I was there because of the work that I'm done, and you know when I'm not there because of the work that ain't getting done. So accountability, man, and what I'm seeing, because I work with a lot of people, and what I'm seeing with people around me is they don't want to be held accountable. So to be able to lead someone that don't want to be held accountable, there's a lot of stress off of you.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
Let me ask both of you all a question. Have you ever had a person in your family, like an uncle, usually it's an uncle or somebody, that when they come over, it's like the whole family light up? It's like they, oh man, Uncle John coming over, like, oh my God, Uncle John here. Like, and it wasn't because Uncle John had any of those traits you had. It was just his presence when he walked into a room was just that great. You you would think that he was a leader, or he could have been a leader. It was just that his aura kind of, you know,
I'm glad you brought that up, man.
Brought you to a
Swag
point like,
and aura.
man, Uncle John, I want to be, and me being who I am, young, I had uncles like that. I had 2 or 3 uncles like that, and I want to be like Uncle Daryl, Uncle Allen when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that they just came in and presented themselves with such, I want to say power, and like you knew you were gonna respect them when they walked into the room or what they said. I had 3 or 4 uncles like that, and it just sometimes those people are leaders without even trying. You get what I'm saying? They're just leaders. They could be leaders of the family without even trying to be that leader. It's just how they are. It's just who they are as a person. And sometimes those things, just your aura and your way you present yourself, can make you a leader.
I'm glad you brought that up, lad. To be honest, I think the people that you see in your immediate family, well, besides your father, if your father's present, those are the first leaders that you see. Like I had my father's youngest brother, like all my style. Like I have affinity for like Ralph Lauren clothes, and he used to read like GQ magazines, and I mean just like a lot of stuff that he did. And I think 1 or 2 of them may be watching. But I got 2 cousins, man, on my mom's side, Mark and Chris. And when I was younger, they would drag me like everywhere.
Right.
You know, and I mean, definitely we had the statute of limitations, y'all. So, don't get scared.
Right.
Tell the story too. But they would take me everywhere with them.
Right.
So I'm watching dice games. I'm watching, but they're, not in a negative way, but they're just showing me, hey, this is how you handle yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, young brother? You know what I'm saying? But in that same way, they were doing all of the things that they needed to do. They were going to college. They were working. They had money. They had. They were good guys. But I love the fact that they would pull me everywhere, and like I was getting to see a lot of stuff firsthand. So that was just really, really cool. And like you said, the first people that you see a lot of times are your immediate family that you that to me were like role models or leaders.
Slick says being a true leader is a heavy hat to wear.
Oh, hell yeah.
It is sad that today's youth don't want to be motivated unless it comes from a extendo clip or a new Jordan or name brand belt buckle. They don't want to be motivated towards anything else.
So with that, Slick, I wanted to say this because what I think the youth, this new generation, they looking at influencers, right? And an influencer ain't necessarily a leader.
Right.
Influencing, man, like that's on some mode and I got something. That's on some like clout shit, money, looks, trending, and propaganda, man. That's not how you lead. You know what I'm saying? So popularity ain't gonna never win you in my favor just because
I always
know you.
hate to round this back in, and it's funny because we was just talking about music because people get so mad at me when I say I blame a lot on the music these days that we listen to. Because don't get me wrong, we had Luke, we had Eazy-E, we had but we had a lot of like positive, a lot of positive music that we would listen to too back in the day. That we partied with the message, you know what I'm saying? Like what I used to call it. We were listening to KRS-One,
Public Enemy, so
Gang
like
we
Starr,
just
Brand
Gang Starr.
Nubian.
Like even like I remember because I was a huge Big Daddy Kane fan. He had a positive like song on every like one of his albums or whatever. So a lot of people get mad. Like even DJs your age that I kind of hang out with a lot. They be like, man, this ain't got nothing to do. I be like, bruh, you would be surprised, man. These kids really think that this is real life. It's not a video game. You know what I'm saying? With all this shit.
And I hate and I always blame social media and music too. Sometimes I think to add the music added with the social media that they can see these things added with the music kind of influencing them a little bit different. Like when we had music videos, the music videos that went with some of the stuff, like I can remember Ice-T's
Pusha.
Yeah, Pusha, the Ice-T's
the album
High
cover.
High Roller. It was a High Roller.
Yeah, High Rollers, New Jack Hustler.
Yep. New Jack Hustler,
they had all the BMWs and chains and stuff. Yeah. So, but I think for us, because we were kids who were latchkey, we're gonna go back to that, and we kind of raised ourselves a little bit differently. I don't know why our mental capacity was a little bit higher to where we knew, man, it's just TV. I mean, it's just, and of course, you had some that may have been influenced by what they saw and what they heard, but a lot of times they were influenced by the fact that they were actually there. You know, like you said, you went with your cousin, and you saw this, so we might have went with our uncles. Like my uncle was no joke, you know what I'm saying? So I might have went with him and saw some stuff that I probably shouldn't have saw, but we were there. This wasn't something someone was telling us. This was something we witnessed. So a lot of times it has to come back to maybe the fact that we witnessed this and knew that, hey, this is what you want to do, versus just seeing it and not necessarily having somebody to pull us back and say, like your cousin say, hey, this ain't it.
Yeah.
But this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's how you carry yourself. And my uncle saying this ain't it, but this is how you carry yourself if you get into a situation
like that.
So I think that's the difference.
To piggyback off of that, all right, we come from a time in an era where we were literally outside. We were living the art that they created. So it's like, I've always told people, like, hey, this shit you hear me saying, bro, I live this. I do this. This me. This a lifestyle. This ain't no, you know, this ain't nothing studio about it. Ain't no prop, ain't no script. When you go out there and you live real life, then you can understand that sometimes TV is a simulation, or TV is what it is. It's acting. Until you see, now they're blending reality to the TV. Like I say, they're trying to make reality into art. And art, and they're blending, they you know, just the line is being blurred.
Most definitely.
But whenever you live it, then you're conscious, and when you act on certain things, all of that's going to click in, and you're going to you'll be able to decipher the difference.
Absolutely, man. One of my partners, man, who watching, man. What's up, little Mitch? Little Mitch, big Mitch. But man, he says, you know, old heads who hustle told us not to hustle.
Right,
There's a better way.
Right.
You know, or like in our neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad Mitch brought this up. In our neighborhood, if the old heads, if you could play sports a little bit better than somebody else,
they protect you.
we're gonna nah, bro.
Yeah.
You know, somebody like, well, I got him to he not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep him away from all of that. So it was kind of like that a lot in our neighborhood. If you had
isn't
a gift,
isn't that what we supposed to be doing now?
Absolutely.
But I mean, like you said, the kids they a little bit different. You know, it's a little bit different now. You say something to somebody nowadays, you might not allow them to make it out the block.
No.
Feel like you're disrespecting them.
So there's a method to all of this, but it's tricky, man. It's very strategic, and that's what I'm juggling, bro. Like, I'm trying to pull people out the trenches, and it's hard, man. It's hard because if they're violent, then how do you pull them out peacefully? You see what I'm saying? If they got existing smoke and problems and issues that are street related, how do you resolve that for them? And that's what a lot of them are creating. And as a leader, I can tell you this, because I was telling this to Chesney on the way over here. I had a homeboy, man. He's still in them streets. He heavy in them streets. And I lost contact with him. He ended up hitting me back. Like, I just started talking to him again recently. And when this man told me, bruh, like, I wish I hadn't lost contact with you because I wouldn't be doing this right now. It started hitting different. So I'm like, well, bruh, I was in the trenches right with you, man, neck and neck. We was on the same team. We had a squad. So it's like, it wasn't like I tried to keep you out of it. But if it's still something about me, when I can be right in there with you, grinding with you, but you can see something positive that I wouldn't lead you down a negative path, and we in the negative, bruh, then that's when I started understanding I might have something. You know
I got a question for you, Lev. I mean, because we're, you know, we definitely came up in the same era or time, space, you know, just things that we did when we were younger. Where's the disconnect came? Because when we came up, skating rinks, parties, you know, house parties, like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna necessarily say like it was all just peaches and cream. Like, we ain't seen people get, you know, but it was rare.
Right.
Like, you know, for our time growing up, it was just very rare for somebody where we were, because, you know, and not trying to be funny, like, we was trying to, you know, get on some women. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was, you know, so where's the disconnect come to where these kids be so violent?
For us, our generation, because we're the ones who's supposed to be, as Doe said, the leader and leadership, is because most of us, some of us, I'm not going to say all of us, want to be friends with the kids now. Back in the day, we wasn't the older OGs on our block wasn't trying to be our friends. First thing they say, man, get your ass out to go for a conversation. You know what I'm saying? But now we all want to be friends, and we all kind of listen to the same music. We all, they wasn't doing that back then. They listened to R&B, OJ and stuff. Rap was just not coming in, so it wasn't that big of an influence. But now we all kind of then moved into the same lane, and we all kind of listen to the same things, kind of doing the same, kind of really doing some of the same things, wearing some of the same clothes. So like those said, the lines have gotten very blurred now between OGs and younger cats, because we all kind of do the same things. We kind of talk the same, walk the same, act the same. So there's the vision is blurry now.
I'm guilty.
You get what I'm saying? The vision is blurry, whereas our uncles might have wore 3-piece suits. You know what I'm saying? Like my uncle wore a suit all the time and carried a briefcase. Wasn't nothing in the briefcase, but tools. You get what I'm saying? But he did, because he said you don't never want people to know what's going on, what you doing, where you coming, or where you going. But nowadays we all wearing jeans, we all wear Jordans, we all wear graphic tees or whatever. So everybody's looking the same, everybody's acting the same. We all listen to the same music, and we all on social media. So there's no separation of generations.
True.
Yes.
So, which is why I'm dressed like this.
Okay.
Because it's subliminal. It's subconscious. I look like a straight up drill rapper. Like I'm finna go out there and pull a hit. Straight up. I had to do this to go get some gas. That's what they say. That's what they say. Little shiesty, right?
I had to tell. But the whole thing is, take this mask off before you go and get some gas,
right.
boy.
But look at it like this. I look like this.
Already pausing the connection on our Instagram.
Hey, pause it though. I look like this, but guess who I'm about to big up? Because it's Black History Month, and I believe these ideologies. And since we're talking about leadership, I think a lot of us missed out on this man right here. Because I looked at when he passed, Marcus Garvey, right? That's one of the people that if I got to pick a leader, he up there with one of my leaders. That's the M right there, by the way, that I throw up. I said that last week.
Marcus Garvey, yeah,
a martyr, right?
There's several books that I read of Marcus Garvey. His main ideology was that if y'all don't want us here, let's get our own little island. Let us do our own thing. Let us govern ourselves. If you don't want us here so bad, if you want us to separate us and beat us and unalive us all the time, let us live on our own. Let us do our own thing.
Now I'm gonna add to all of that, because I wanted to take the time out, man, to get his man, you know what I'm saying, to highlight on this. But all right, so 1940s to me, that's when he passed, right? So that's 20 years from the 60s movement, right?
Right.
All right, so his views to me is what the 60s movement was acting on to a degree, but not all the way, right? All right, so with that, I'm gonna go into it, man, and I'm gonna be like, man, I think he was downplayed, one, because he was Jamaican, and I think he was also, like I say, years before his time, which he was, but he organized the Black nationalist movement, which is like the Black Star Line, you know what I'm saying? In this global, universal Negro, we'll say, improvement association for the African communities, but that's inclusive for all people that look our color. So he wasn't just trying to be like, oh, this for the Caribbean. No, this for us Americans too. But now with that, his views and ideas led to something that they call Garveyism. And okay, like I said, that's Black nationalism that refers to the economic, racial, and political policies. He was a race first type of person, man, in his teachings, which basically is like, I mean, man, there's no race in the world that, and I'll quote it then, no race in the world is so just as to give others for the asking a square deal in thing, economic, political, and social, but rather each racial group will favor its own. And I mean, so in a nutshell, another thing that he was saying is we can't expect the opposite race to help us or be equal with us, give us inequality. We should expect ourselves to unite and do it ourselves. Whatever we're asking for another race, we should be asking within our own race to do first. One, to get the respect that we demand,
right? And
because some of it is already ours anyway,
right?
And it was pretty much, he was just saying like, man, they would never grant us equality, you know. And his views
So you believe agitation because I believe that,
What up,
and I say all
Hallworth?
the time that in revolution there will be sacrifices, and we all
Hell
have to
yes, and I
sacrifice
said- yeah.
something during the revolution.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. It may be a family member that you can't trust during the revolution. Whatever the case may be, something has to be sacrificed. And revolution is not pretty.
No,
But
it's not.
it's not
not
all
comfortable.
peaches and cream.
No.
And I don't think a lot of us realize that when we say, let's not stand for this, let's not stand for that,
Mhm.
whatever. You got to realize, like Jill Scott Heron said, not Jill Scott Heron, yeah, Jill Scott Heron. He
Gil
said,
Scott,
Gil
yeah.
Scott.
Revolution.
Gil Scott Heron
be
said the
televised.
revolution won't be televised,
Mhm.
and what he mean by that is it won't be in your mind. It won't be something that you think about. It'll be something that you do.
Do.
So it's not going to be a visual thing. It's going to be, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. It's always going to be sacrifices during revolution.
That's so like appropriate for currently what's going
Mhm.
on. Like I rarely talk about or speak about politics
Right.
on social media at all. The only thing like I try to tell people is like don't wade in the water, man.
Right.
Don't I feel like that's what the powers that be want to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fear show.
Of course.
How scared, how meek, you know what I'm saying? How humble can we make them,
Right.
I really try to distance myself every day from, it's so many posts about, oh Lord, the next 4 years, and oh Lord. Let's just try to think of ways to make it better.
Right,
Let's not
right.
think of how it possibly could get worse. Let's get ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
People just already singing Negro spirituals and stuff,
Yeah.
man. And I'm just like, man,
They're giving in.
it's not the time for that, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole new ball game.
My-
It's not the 60s, man.
My,
you know what
my
I'm saying?
motto is don't give in, don't give up, give more. That's what I've been saying lately. Give more. Like it's just you gotta realize that, and this is I'm going back to this. This is something that kind of ticks me off when we have all these black millionaires and billionaires in this country, and we have to push our gripes and misunderstandings and what we're saying about the current situation on social media sites that supports what's going on. You get what I'm saying? We don't have. I've said this a million times. I said this about black record labels. Why don't all these guys get together and create their own distribution?
They
Why
tried
they gotta go
that.
through Universal and all that other stuff? I think Jay-Z tried it with Tidal.
Irv
but he just
Gotti
didn't
got a
have
Fed
enough-
charge for that
Why?
because of. I ain't finna get into all
Yeah,
that. 'cause
right.
I'm in the industry,
I'm just saying
man,
if
but
he's creating his
yeah,
own
yeah.
distribution,
I thought
you
P did
can't
that
do
though.
that. You no.
Didn't P didn't do that?
No.
Okay.
This is the thing when it comes to all that, man. There are companies that distribute, and there are companies that's gonna sign you like as an artist.
right?
If you want to go solo, you get with the distro, and you make your music, and you make a deal with them, and they distribute your music, and you pretty much, like I say, independent. If you get with a label, then the label, next thing you know, you just got two people. You're dealing with the label, and the label deal with the distro. When you try to be a distro, that's like you saying you want to be damn near your own grocery store or something, or you want to be like another. Let's say you want to be your own Apple,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of folks ain't gonna have that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't think it's illegal though. I
What
just
It's
think
not.
I
but
just,
they
I just
not
think it
gonna
throws a
have
monkey
it.
wrench into the program that makes it a little bit more difficult to do so. But as still in all, you're talking about $3 billion just offhand. Dre, Diddy when he was available, and Jay-Z.
What happened with Tidal?
It
He
kinda-
sold it or did he sell it?
He still
or-
has it, I believe, but it's part of Rock Nation. But I think the problem with that was it was just not enough people. It was when it first started, the disinformation and the untrust of it all was heavy. So a lot of people didn't sign up for it. A lot of artists didn't want to go for it because a lot of people have their gripes with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Allegedly they have their gripes with stuff that he does in the business.
Mhm.
Where they'll gripe with him about it, but they'll call other folks, palm colored, great businessman. You get what I'm saying? So that's what generally happens.
I'll put it to you like this: how I understand the making of the beast, I can look at, we'll say, Yeezy and Adidas as an example. Yeah, it's a lot of money being exchanged, but when you, as a person, as a soul, as a being, as a commodity, as your own self, want to say something, and now your money start getting tied up into it, your life start getting affected. They want to pause all this and freeze all these assets because of your beliefs and what you want to say, because you dealing with somebody. That's how that stuff starts happening when you think you gonna bypass somebody and do what you want to do.
But on the Yee example, he made it through because Yeezys are back now. They
Clearly,
came back
they
out
never were
recently
gone.
in his own company now. You get what I'm saying? Like,
But the lesson
he
I
made it
learned
through
was-
that through that fight, and that's the thing I'm saying. We have to, if we want to be able to voice our opinions and our gripes in a way that's not being censored, we have to have our own platform to do so. And fan base is great, but he doesn't have the money. It's this model
So-
of investing into the site. It's hard for a lot of people when all these other ones are free. You get what I'm saying? So
and which is why, once again, none of these qualifications that I'm gonna go down, and I'm gonna go down some more, does it say that a leader has to have money? And that's where we be wrong at. And that's where our leaders be influencers. Our leaders we looking at somebody to lead because they got something shiny on. They can talk a lot of shit. They can get a lot of women. They famous. They this and that. They this. Well, what have you done? What have you done to help somebody? What have you done to make somebody's life better based off what you're saying? Sometimes you can lead. You ain't gotta have no money to be able to tell somebody what to do.
yeah,
but we
I
always
think-
want to look up to the person that's dangling the carrot in front of us, and they out there doing something despicable.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but I think a lot of times for today's age, as the earth is flat because of internet, you have to. You do understand that the earth is flat, not flat in physical
The
form,
earth
but
is flat. The earth is round.
Flat
The earth got hills, got
as far as
valleys,
the
got
internet's
density. It's
concerned.
everything.
I can reach somebody across in Germany quicker now than I could 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by making the earth flat. But I think in today's society, a lot of times, in order to get things moving, and I meant money as far as certain mechanisms that we use to get messages across, you do need money in order to make those things happen. But at the same time, I agree
What's
with
up,
you on
Boots?
the fact that you don't necessarily need money to be a leader. A leader has leaders are born.
You gotta act.
You gotta act.
You don't have
gotta
to act
be able
with
to.
money.
You gotta be able to sacrifice something for people to say, "Oh, if he willing to do that, or she willing to do that, I'm willing to do that too."
I mean, it's funny that both of y'all say that in regards to like the finances, making a person a leader, and this is not because I don't necessarily know. I'm not that tapped in with this particular religion, but I just say, for example, when I used to be downtown a lot, and I'm pretty sure you've seen them too, like the Israelite people. I don't really think they got bread like that, but the numbers, like I've seen like the conventions and when they have people and like whomever's putting out that message, it's people are following it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't necessarily anybody that I know personally, but I see a lot of black men with the garb on. So that's just like you said. I don't, and I see your point too. Like, and I'll harken back to, since it's Black History Month and we talk about it, like how much money was really, what was the NAACP raising when, Martin were doing their thing? Was it a big, funding or pushing of money, or was it just a message?
So
they galvanized the
Hey,
people.
real Gemini Queen, what's going on?
We
Real
gonna
Miss Gemini.
get back on like the qualifications, self-awareness, and with that is cognitive understanding of your thoughts, but then it's the physical understanding of how your body feels, and then emotional, the feelings and how they impact yourself as well as others. We got resilience. That's a word that I used one of them episodes. Y'all can make some money off of it. Y'all can tell me. We know what that means. The ability to adapt and overcome through difficult situations. We got relationship building. That's creating and maintaining connections with others with a network and support and understanding. You know what I'm saying? And it's shared interest and experiences. Empower your team. That's kind of self-explanatory. Just make your team better. Authenticity is one of the things as well. Be authentic. Ain't no frauds in here. Your own personality, your own character, original and not false or imitation. We got great communication, which is what we're all doing right now. Being able to communicate, knowledge hungry, always wanting to learn something. Empathetic, which we discussed, being empathetic of the next person. Generosity, being able to be generous, give a lot more than you receive.
What you said, give more.
Yep, delegate, which is to entrust another person, man. You know what I'm saying? And to a point, and act on, you know what I'm saying, on another's, and it's like you're representing. You got to be able to listen. We all know what listening means. Problem solving. Don't always have a problem that you can't have a resolution to. A positive attitude. We know what that is. Vision is probably one of them. And I see Keith, my boy, he mentioned that as well. But vision, you have to have the insight, the foresight to be able to see something all the way through, be able to see something that may be coming, to be able to see what someone else wants to have done as well as what you want, and make it all come together. Teachability. How can you lead someone if someone can't teach you? Adaptability. You got to be able to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't always go the way it's planned is what we're seeing. Definitely they were able to adapt during that 60s movement, especially with trying to be nonviolent. That was one of the strategies to try to adapt to what was going on. Confidence and courage. If your leader ain't got no confidence and your leader ain't got no courage, along with some humility, I can't really relate. I ain't seen no weak leader, no scared leader. Because like you were saying, sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to do something. If you scared, you need to be on the back burner. You can't be leading. And one of the last ones I would be like is innovation as well as motivation. Innovation, being able to think, being able to create. That kind of goes with the vision, being able to see something. And then the motivation, the desire to see it through.
I want to piggyback on the last one you just mentioned, man, about the innovation. Do y'all feel like the message is stale? Because when I was in, like, a while back, but when I was in middle school and Malcolm X was like heavy, we was heavy into Malcolm X, and like one of my teachers was like, gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X, and like I read it like cover to cover. Me too. And it was just like
major for justice too.
It was like big to me. Like at that age, like in middle school, like is the message, because that was before our time. 20 years before our time. Is that particular message, like, would it be stale? I know these kids don't read like that, but
the message ain't stale. The people are, bro. We ain't got nobody fresh. We ain't got nobody of substance. We ain't got nobody new. We don't have nobody. And I ain't gonna say like we don't have nobody, but if you gotta keep searching through your algorithms and going all online to find this, knowledge comes to you. We seek knowledge, but there gotta be some knowledge out there that's just beaming out there bright for us to see, that we ain't necessarily got to go find, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Can you name any like leaders, like not even necessarily politicians or anybody that you think is, on the forefront of being a leader?
Yeah. Some of them are right there on my live feed.
Cool. I got shout them out.
Hallworth right here. I got Vincent Carter right here. Alicia Nicole. Like, I don't always look at people that people try to appoint to say that it's a leader. I look at people that challenge me and people that's actually doing some of these things. If you can shut me up and shut down my skepticism with your method, I'm all for you. Because you're actively doing something. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people out here, they only leading you to the bank. I mean, that's cool if you want to be financially aware, but how is that going to help the next person that ain't got no money or they don't even have a car to get to the bank? And I mean, like a lot of people just don't understand, man. And I always use this term a lot, man. Life be lifing, because it lifes for everyone on this planet. And we don't know what somebody is going through. And it ain't always peaches and cream. It ain't always the best scenario, and for someone to be able to align with that, to be able to help with that, or at least acknowledge it and understand that. Like, and I think me being in an environment where I work at a hospital every day has brought me to a point where I'm so, how can I say, sympathetic for people. I ain't necessarily say empathetic, but sympathetic, because I work in an environment where don't nobody want to be there. And I'm not necessarily talking about the workers. I'm talking about the people that I'm helping. Right. I ain't never seen nobody, oh shit, wake up, man, damn, I want to go to that hospital today. Right. Let me do something to make me go to the hospital. Ain't nobody saying that. Right. So with that, and in seeing how people's lives are when they are there, seeing what they care about, seeing what they can align with, that also helps me see how maybe I can lead or what to say. Because your average leader ain't at the hospital every damn day looking at people that really need some spiritual motivation as well.
Right. I think, and Slick says people want reward with no work or sacrifice. I think that the message is not stale, because we're still fighting for just about the same things. I think that the message hasn't been adapted for the current generation, and that's the problem that we have. The message is not getting through because it hasn't been changed, adapted, or made to be prevalent for today's society, and that's the problem that we have. The message is still the message. It's always going to be the message, and the message is all. I don't necessarily know if it's still on the same chord of trying to get equality or trying to get just a little bit more respect. But the problem that we have now is that we can't use the same message that we used 20 or 30 years ago to get through the kids that's 20 or 30 years old. We have to change the message based on what the kids are watching, listening to, and understanding. And to be honest with you, this month I've seen a lot of Black history studies and articles about history and things of that nature. The only problem that I have with it, and I might get the connection might get poor again, is they just did, was the fact that social media seems to be slowing that message down,
dumbing it down or something like that.
Slowing it down where it's not.
I see us already.
The algorithm is
right.
switching up.
Right, it's switching up to be more of, of course, what we talked about earlier. So, with that being said, we have to try to find our way around those things.
I'm gonna let you do this, Chezzy, and then I'm going.
Go ahead, bro.
Well, that's why I'm doing these universal laws. There's always a way to skin a cat, man. And I'm also doing these word of the days and these thought of the days because you got to think around this. Like, to be honest with you, this cell phone and all this social media, this ain't meant for us to come up. This ain't the way we gonna come up. I'm just using this because I want to be able to get a message out there. And me just going outside and speaking, I might not get that many people as me speaking on this. But this ain't the end all be all. This ain't even the beginning.
Right.
And the word of the day is clandestine. All right. And that is something done in secret, often for illegal or unauthorized, or they say evil purpose. But you can still look at that same clandestine definition and you can pull a positive out of it, which means a private place or way or military or intelligence operation that is kept hidden from general public or enemy forces. And I say that to say there's a lot of that going on in politics. Hey man, I'm in all black. Y'all can slow my connection down, whatever y'all want to do. But this is what's gonna happen today. I'm gonna tell it to you like it is. There are unseen, forces that you can't see that's making a lot of this stuff happen. Some of these forces are right behind these tools that we use. All right, now with that being said, if you want to be a leader, I'm gonna tell you this, which is the thought of the day, right? You take a look in the mirror, and I'm gonna say this to you. I've never seen a mirror speak, yet it always tells the truth. So when you look in the mirror, you're gonna get the truth. You're gonna get what you see. Right. Now your conscience and your mind, you might try to alter the perspective and the perception of what you see, but the truth is right there in front of you without a word being said. Those are the thoughts of the day. Universal laws, we got 3 of them. All right, so the law of unconditional love. If you a leader, you definitely got to have some of that, a lot of that. And this ain't romantic, you know what I'm saying? Even though we in the month of Valentine's Day. But and we talking about sacrificing, right? So, hey man, this is the sacrificing because of genuine emotions. You got to nurture, you know what I'm saying, with no expectation of reward. And you got to volunteer your help when you lead. And you have to want the best for someone without judging or gauging them. All right, the second one of today is the law of abundance. And this is the idea that the universe has unlimited resources, you know what I'm saying, and can provide people of everything that they want or need. But you just have to align your perception and perspective with it. Yeah, I mean, you know, there are some people out there that aren't able to get what they need. But have they changed their perspective to see what they need? And I say that by saying, you got a lot of people like, man, the glass is half empty. Oh, no, it's half full. Or you got that one person, shit, I'm just glad I got some. I'm glad I got something to drink. I'm thirsty. It's out here, you know what I'm saying? I could die of thirst. I have more than, I can unalive from thirst. I can have more than a few drops. All right, and that third one, we're going to go with the law of divine order, which means there's control and order on this universe, whether you want to put some effort and energy towards it regardless. All right, and that is with nature and all living things. And you're allowed to grow and change and live and learn and become harmonious with the planet and with everyone else if you choose to. without, you know what I'm saying? Like once you choose and put forth that energy and that effort, it will start happening naturally, just because of the laws of the divine order. All right, might as well go ahead and get to that snacking around, man. You know, and that is, we'll say, a pomegranate. So a lot of times, what I'm finna get ready to do, I'm gonna start posting a lot of exercising and working out, because part of my leadership, I want us to be as healthy as we can possibly be. Okay. I want us to be kind of fit. I'm always, I say, kind of like war ready. You never know when you got to drop and give me 50. You never know when you might have to walk a country mile or something like that. And I want to be ready. What's up, Sneed? I see you, homie.
What's up, Darlene?
How long is a country mile?
Hey, man, I can't even tell you, but I know I can walk it. I can walk probably 4 or 5 of them things.
I just want to know how much a country mile is.
But
is
I do want to tell
a regular
you.
Mile?
Hey, yeah, it is. Because you might have some valleys, some humps, and some hills in that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But in the snacking around, man, it's a pomegranate, and that has vitamin C in it. And it got another vitamin. I throw that V up, man. Y'all ain't probably heard of this one, though, but a vitamin K. I ever hear vitamin K. And I encourage y'all to look that up. I ain't got enough time to tell you about it, because it's very interesting and deep. But vitamin K, and it's a lot of dietary fiber with these pomegranates. I love them things, man. You peel that. Once you peel that shell and that skin back, you have all these little individual, like little berry-like things, real juicy and got a lot of water and wet to it and flavor to it. And it was originated in Afghanistan, believe it or not, in Iran, and it's exported to like Asia, Africa, and Europe, man. So you know, those were some of the things that I just wanted to get out, because I see, you know, we getting closer to that 30-minute mark. But now, Chezzy, anything you guys want to add to and piggyback on what I just said, we can, and before I go into a little bit more in depth of the last of those characteristics that I just said about being, you know, a leader.
I was piggybacking on something that Lab was saying, you know, as far as it not being, or he was seeing a lot of Black history stuff. You know, as far as this month pertaining, you're starting to see a lot of, I guess, you know, TV commercials, whatnot.
No, just social media.
Well, social media
really
stuff, yeah, that too.
TV about
so
it.
I don't know if she's watching. I don't know if Miss Mix-a-Lot is watching, if Donna's watching. But we attended a Catholic. She went to the school with me, to the Catholic school with me. She went to Our Lady of Lourdes with me, and when I tell you, it was an immersion in Black history and culture, like for it to be a Catholic school. It was a Black Catholic school.
Okay.
But we were heavy on Kwanzaa. We were heavy on Black history. I mean, we were heavy on, like, you know, where, you know, the actual, where actually Jesus may have walked in Rome. Like it wasn't, it never was sugarcoated to us. So like, first grade, like, you know, we were really in depth and in tune with that. And like now, when I look at, you know, I have a daughter in the 5th grade. It's nothing like what what we learned. Like I knew the Black national anthem, right? Like all 3 stanzas,
they say that's
everything.
divisive. They say that they don't need, they just need to sing the American anthem.
Yeah, and it's like they taking everything, you know, out of these kids, you know, hands, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they got to do their own research.
Right.
For when I was in school, like it was like boom.
Right there in front of you.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to learn, you're going to learn your past, you're going to learn your history a lot. So I hate the way that education is really like dumbing that particular part.
And they trying to dumb it more. They
of
trying to take more of.
Well, they trying to make it look like we ain't never been through nothing,
right,
and
like
all
really,
of this stuff, man. So yeah, it's sad, man. It's real sad.
All right, so I got my vegan correspondent, the lovely Alicia Nicole, and she just chimed in, and I appreciate this.
She went to Catholic school too, and her daddy paid cash.
Wow.
Oh,
whoa, that's a lot of money right there. But she's saying that vitamin K is very beneficial for your blood to clot and wounds to heal. So that's kind of interesting. I like that. Yeah, okay. And we actually have medication in the pharmacy that kind of does certain things like that, either help clot blood or loosen blood. So we have blood thinners and blood clotters, because you know people have health conditions where you know a simple cut will seem like a laceration and they'll bleed. You know, allegedly. Well, you know,
can't talk health. You can't talk
well,
positive
your boy
health
that actually
on social
go
media
and
for some
and
reason.
have credentials,
especially on the YouTube.
Hey man, you know, look here, man. they making it hard for Dose to really heal and
Yeah.
do his job because I got credentials in this and I can't even speak. But
See,
I'm
they
I'm
already
working on
slowed down
all
the
this. You know?
connection when you start talking about healthy stuff.
Hey, yeah, I got us banned already. I'm in black, y'all, so I don't want to
Man,
get us
in the US,
banned no more.
I want to give a shout out to man to my black college that I attended, man.
HB,
And
yeah.
HBCU, man, Albany State, all of them really, man.
Shout out to Morehouse,
You know,
shout out to
all
Clark,
the-
shout
the
out to
AU
Mars
Center,
Brown, them
you know.
ATL, and this
So,
bitch.
so all of the HBCUs. One question that you might, either one of you all might know this, and I was kind of like listening earlier when we were kind of going back and forth. It's funny. You remember how when we were coming up, they had the hoodies
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
with the HBC,
yeah,
and like
yeah.
then
On
all of
Martin
a
and all
sudden,
Nothing.
you never see them anymore.
Right.
Like nobody
It's
trademarked
nostalgia.
it or tried to bring it back.
Bring it back, bro. Go get it. I mean, but see, that was once again, and that was a movement back then, though, bro. Like that started coming out like
Well,
when
Bill
we had
Cosby-
school days
Bill
and all
Cosby
of that,
would
and
wear,
the different world and
yeah,
all of that.
everybody would wear,
Yeah.
you know, all of that on TV, and like all of a sudden, that whole brand. I think they had like the square patches with the HBCU on the side,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, like I never saw it like ever again.
You know what
That
happened
was
to Bill
always wild to
Cosby?
me.
But here go the thing. We can always make that trending again, bro. Like, as a matter of fact, so what I'm going to do, before this month is over with, I'm going to go down to CAU, since I was enrolled for a semester, and I'm going to try to get me some Clark Atlanta apparel and wear that bitch.
Right. Right.
Because
You don't
you
even
can
have to
make
go there. You can
anything
order
fresh.
that online.
I can get it online or whatever, but
Yeah.
like, we can just wear that. You know, it ain't never played out. So, and with that being said, though, I do want to say this because I believe all three of us are this in here. But we have been in a leadership role inadvertently just by being a parent.
Absolutely.
see,
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people don't understand that. Because they got a lot of bad kids out there, man. But you lead your children, whether you want to believe that or not. You can lead them astray, or you can lead them down the right path.
Uh-huh.
And so, it's a wonderful thing when you lead them down the right path. You have less stress for yourself and less stress for them. And then you get to see that you got a whole new generation coming up under your wing that's on something righteous. That's why I'm beginning to understand just how important leadership is, man. Because if you take a step back, man, and you look, I don't want no kid to lead me.
Right.
And
right.
the youth, they lead on these social media apps.
Yeah, because they know more about it.
Because to some people, leadership is 300K likes and views. Shit ain't got nothing to do with leading.
Right.
You just looking at this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
I think as far as raising children, me speaking as my age and my children being a lot older,
Mhm.
In their 30s. My oldest is 35, be 35, 36 this year. And my daughter be 35 this year. My youngest probably is going to be 33. Leading them down the right path, you do as you get younger, and you hope they stay on that path. But as I've learned through just my children, them being older, sometimes they choose their own path and try to have their own identity and as a person. So for me, it was difficult to see them choosing their own path, maybe a path I wouldn't have chose for them. And as parents and as leaders of that of those children and raising those children, we have to learn that eventually they're going to be their own person. And as you guys have younger children, you know, I want you guys to understand that they're going to be their own person. Eventually, they're going to say, I don't want to hear what daddy got to say. I need to, you know what I'm saying? I need to try this my own self. And as leaders, we have to let them figure it out and bump their head. Eventually, they'll come back to you. If you're a great leader, they'll come back to you and ask questions. But they're going to try to do their own. They're going to buck the system a little bit. It's just a natural occurrence as they get older and become their own individual person.
With that being said, my little shawty don't never buck no system because it ain't no system to buck.
Right.
Like, I let her make all the decisions that she wanted to do, but strategically. Like, as long as they're not gonna hurt her, let her do it. Cause all she doing is getting in her head. Oh, I can do this. I can make these decisions. Like, I told her, be better than me.
That's a system, though.
Not necessarily be better than me. So meaning you gotta to be better than me. Don't do what I do. She does some of the things that I do, but it's enhanced. Like a lot of my daughter be amazing me because it's some things that she does. I don't know how she does it. And she don't even tell me, and I don't require that she tells me.
Okay.
I just understand. I can tell by some of the things that she does. I know she listens, and she tell me she listens. That's all I need.
So your daughter never done anything that you were like, I don't know about that, sweetheart. Maybe we need to think about that.
Not
If that's the case, you are
necessarily.
a super dad because
Not
I'm gonna
necessarily.
be 100% honest. I don't know many parents
who can say that their child did do something or chose a path that they may have not really wanted them to choose and decide to say, you know, I mean, you might let them go ahead and do it, but
You have some
You
trepidation.
gotta know my
Right.
past to understand what she ain't going through, what I went through. You already, bruh. I'm coming from the street, talking my way into a free how can I say entry. I ain't get no scholarship, and we talking about my daughter $300,000 scholarship at the door. That's already trumping me. Her education was free. I had to pay for mine. I had to pay mine. You see what I'm saying? Fast for mine. And still didn't do nothing with it.
Right.
Dropped out in 1 month. Shouted going 4 years straight. And asked me to give her some money so she can take some summer courses so she can graduate on time. Nigga, I was taking summer courses to get to the next grade, bruh.
Right.
So, yeah, everything she do, I salute that. It's 10 times better than me.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to downgrade myself and my mentality and say that none of it is what I was teaching her.
Right.
But you just told me, and you just said, let them do their own, which is what I was doing, but I implemented me. I did it in the adolescent years, in the infantile stages, when they can't necessarily make the decisions, and when they're starting to think, and when they're sponging it. That's when I hit her with all the knowledge. That's when I'm drilling it into her. It ain't no gaga goo goo, no a b b b b, no ooh goo. No, it's hey. When you get to the age where you're understanding what dad says, you're going to be able to talk back to me in the same tone, and then it's going to resonate in a different way. And that is a lot. Like me, you know, I put my voice to the womb before she even came out. It was recorded. So, I mean,
I'm hands on. I'm hands on with mine. She's not as old as Dose's daughter is, but the best advice, you know, because my dad, it was me and my sister, and the best advice my dad like would give me is just like, yo, with these girls, you can't overcrowd, you can't be overbearing, you can't tell them. The more you tell them what not to do,
the more they're gonna do
more they're gonna want to do it.
Right.
So he's like, don't, you know, he's like, I mean, he wasn't telling me, and he wasn't saying, you know, always be the cool dad, and always, you know, with everything, it's some rules involved. But you know, my dad was just always like, man, you gotta let her, you know, at some point, you gonna have to let her do her thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna kill. It killed me like now.
Right.
You know what I'm
boy,
saying?
not
Like,
at 10, bro.
at 10, it kills me now. We were having a discussion the other day about when she was younger. I used to dress her like me. I get her like we had matching clothes, matching polos and all this stuff. And my mom used to be like, I hate that you do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Let her. And I was talking to her the other day, and we were looking at some old pictures. I was like, yeah, don't you want to start dressing back like? And she was like, if I could have picked my clothes out when I was a little kid, I wouldn't dress like you then. So you know what I'm saying? So they be killing me now. But yeah, like my you know, all my advice that I tell her, like, just always, my big thing is just, you can tell me anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no really good cop, bad cop, because you know, her mom handles things a totally different way than me.
You would.
But I always be like, hey, if you tell me, you know what I'm saying? And we joke about this because, you know, she's, you know, when we were kids, we would watch,
I saw that one too.
Richard Pryor. We would watch little, you know, comedy stuff. So she watched the Chris Rock thing with me one day, and he was like, you know, if you tell me, you know, it'll be better, or it won't. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, man, it sounds like you, Daddy. And I'm like, that's the truth. I said, now, it may not go like that way with your mama, but tell me. Maybe sometimes tell me first. You know what I'm saying? Or just tell me, you know what I'm saying? If you feeling some kind of way about doing something, just teetering on right and wrong, tell me. And that, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, so far, you know what I'm saying, I haven't. I know it's still like toe in the water right now. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen nothing yet, but you know what I'm saying? She's a pretty good girl for right
Slick
now.
says a lot of parents are being friends with their kids and
Yeah.
not parenting.
Yeah.
You can let your kids do shit to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Letting kids do so much on their own is how grown as kids are created.
Well, hold on, real quick, those before we get to that, and this is so funny because me and Lab both brought this up, and I think you probably did this too. As latchkey kids, I had to explain what that was to her. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like the other day, I was like, yo, go in the kitchen and cook something. She was like, I'm hungry. You know,
Right.
well, I mean, she don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I was like, no, you gotta. I said, when I was 10 years old, I could make a grilled cheese. I mean, I was a little ahead of the
don't
curve.
have her burn the house down.
I was a little ahead of the curve, but it was just like I was just telling her all the things I would do.
Grilled
When-
cheese.
Yeah, you don't want to make it on.
No, that's what I'm saying.
God damn,
that was a
hey,
simple,
man.
that was a simple meal for me. But these
Right.
kids now, they don't know how to microwave. Well, they got microwaves now.
At 10, 11 years old, I was going to the corner store after school. They used to sell like a bag of chicken wings. Cause my childhood was a little bit rougher. So
Yeah.
I would go there after school, $3-4, get a bag of chicken wings. I would fry chicken.
Yeah.
I be fried chicken. I knew how to fry chicken at that age because I watched my mom, or she would say, "Go in there and flip over that chicken," or "Go in there and do this and fry all that chicken." See, so I already knew how to do it at that age. So I was frying chicken. I was cooking.
But I had to
10, 11.
explain to her, like, I used to catch the bus from
Yes.
from Our Lady of Lourdes, which is on
Yes.
Boulevard, which was one of the roughest places
Mm-hmm.
in Atlanta back then. Go to 5 Points, then catch the train home
Mm-hmm.
by myself, lock the door. I mean, just all of that. So I'm just like, yo, you got the.
I used to catch the bus from my
I
grandma's
wouldn't
house on the
recommend
west
all that
side.
nowadays.
Not
It's too
now,
dangerous.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I was just telling her that's what your
Not
dad
for a
used to
daughter. And you a son though. See, you a boy.
Yeah,
you want your
yeah.
daughter doing all
do.
that?
No,
bro?
I'm saying
Yeah.
I was telling her that's what I used to do.
Right.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It wasn't one of them. I used to walk 6 feet in the snow. No, this is what your daddy used to do. Whenever
Uphill
when
and
she
down.
complained, well, you did it for real.
Yeah.
But whenever she complains about stuff, I'm like, yo, you got it great. I was like, man, I had to fend for self.
Yeah.
So when you let them dress themselves, which I used to do, you end up at the grocery store and they wearing the tiara and tutus.
Cowboy boots.
So yeah, and them boots. So how I did this, we did that shit. I kept trying to be like, hey man, people are looking at you, but they looking at me too. And they like, man, this is what you coming out with. So when she almost cried about it, I said, all right, okay, you got me. The tears gonna get me every time. Go ahead and wear that damn tutu. Go ahead and wear your damn tiara. And you can wear look like you was in damn Honolulu somewhere with whatever them damn little Hawaiian
LA.
flower. Yeah, you can wear that too. But when we got to the grocery store and we saw Buddy with the pajama pants, the cowboy boots, and the Superman cape on walking down the aisle, and I was like, you could tell his dad let him wear that. And she looked at that, was like, why he wearing that? And then I was like, look what you got on. She ain't had to worry about that no more. I ain't had to worry about that no more. She was like, okay, this is what I'm doing to you, Dad. And then I would say, okay, well, you know what? Let me come in there dressed like Super Dave to your next class. When you in the 10th and 11th grade, I'm gonna come in here dressed like this, like Grizzly Adams or some shit, and see how you like it. And then they start understanding, because that's that dose syndrome. Give them a dose of their own medicine, and I tell you, they start straightening it up.
Yeah.
But
They said I had a kid, bills, and an apartment at 15.
God damn.
Graduated in college, and my son graduated college on the dean's list. So she's saying if you just try to do it properly,
It'll work.
They can get done.
Okay then, Slick, since you said all that, then when I was 5 years old, my dad was like, you can stay here, but you're gonna have to earn your keep now.
Right.
With all that, damn.
You could have did anything.
At 5, bro, damn. What I'm
Hey,
supposed
let
to
me
be
tell you
doing at 5?
You could have cleaned up. You
Oh,
could
see, you the kind of leader that I like. That's what I'm talking about.
You could
Then
have cleaned up.
I had to make money at 5
You could
though.
have swept the kitchen floor.
Look,
Bro.
Lab was running numbers. He had a whole
At
numbers
5 years
operation.
old,
at
you know
five.
what I'm
So
saying?
my
Hey,
grandparents
Lab had a UPS route.
had a newspaper route where they delivered newspapers
Mm-hmm.
as a part-time job on the weekends. I was in the back rolling the papers to earn money, and I was like 6 or 7. But I used to love riding with them in the back of that damn Suburban.
Sure.
It was one of them old Suburbans too.
Yeah.
And I would roll the papers, throw them in the pile. He'd be like, "Hand me a paper, Lee." I hand him a paper so he could throw. I mean, this is what I did, and we talking about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I had a
I'm
paper
in the
route
car
before.
on Saturday. We going to deliver papers, but that's what I did. He was like, so he would tell me at the end of the week, we got this amount of money, this your cut, what you want to do
Oh,
with
that's
it.
what's up.
Okay.
And I would tell him, well, I want to do such and such. And because we were a very poor family, of course I always would give it back so we could have our. But it was a case of where I was earning my keep. It wasn't much, but he wanted to teach me the value.
And you probably felt good that you was
But
helping
I
out,
love,
though.
man, I love riding with them in that old
Back of the
broke
truck.
down Suburban. We delivered papers and stuff like that. I just love doing it. But it was just the fact he said, hey, hard work does pay off. It may not be great, but it does help you feed yourself, feed your family. So I did do those things when I was younger. It wasn't a case of that he made me do it. I actually was up and ready to go when he was getting ready to
That's
go.
what's up, man. It was an adventure for you.
Right, it was an adventure. Like
Yeah.
we going through all these neighborhoods in Chicago, we delivering papers.
that's
It was
dope.
just a great time for me.
What you got left? I want to do something in the last 10. What you got?
Oh, the best demonstration of leadership that I've seen that makes me proud, that makes me study and look at the methods, man. And that was basically the 60s movement, man, the civil rights era. And that is because people want to focus. You can focus on Malcolm, you can focus on Martin, you can focus on Huey, you can focus on H-Rap, you can focus on Angela Davis, but you can also focus on us as a whole. Everybody almost wanted to take on leadership or at least be a
Together,
part of
too.
that movement. And that's where I think we need to be leading back to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of in this all black because think about, you can have some people that's in all black, you don't even know who they are, and they talking like how I'm talking. You can have some people with the mask down, and they talking how I'm talking, and you can see them. However you want to do this thing, but it needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Mitch.
No. I wanted you to get, you know what I'm saying, if you had, because it's something I just wanted to bounce off all three. Like, so for Black History Month, man, I'm going to bring up a genre every week. Everybody pick. Well, with the exception of Valentine's Day, we just going to pick one today. So I'm going to let Dose finish up. Do you have any more universal laws or anything you need to get off?
No, I do got a love doc thing for you though.
Okay, give me your.
You want me to do that now?
No,
Okay,
no,
so
no,
you
no.
say-
We'll do it at the end of the show. We'll close that one out.
When I say this, man, y'all gonna want to. I'm gonna have to go because y'all gonna be like, Dose, we didn't even know you got down like that.
Oh, man.
Well, you probably do, but hey, okay.
But nah, so I and I'll kick it off with Lab. So it's gonna be a genre every week. So this week, what is your favorite African American movie?
African American movie.
Yes, and it could be, and I mean, it could be Dolomite. It could be any kind of movie. Well, let's try to keep it clean. But yeah, it could be any kind of it could be any kind of movie, man.
For me, I loved comedy when I was younger, and I always like "I'ma Get You, Sucker."
Oh wow!
I really liked "I'ma Get You, Sucker."
Get you sucker.
I've recently started getting into more produced black films like Sweet Sweetback's Great Revenge. I watched that recently. That's a good movie. Made by what's his name's father? I forget his name. I'm sorry, but I had a T-shirt made by because when he brought the movie out, it was the first black movie, all black movie, and he had a sex scene in it, and they made the movie X-rated, but it wasn't X-rated. So he made shirts that says rated X by all white jury. So I have T-shirts that say that. But that was one of the movies I started watching. I try to watch a lot of black films as much as possible. But when I was younger, I got to watch "I'ma Get You, Sucker." At the
I saw that in
theaters, and I
Greenbrier
loved it.
movie theater. Well,
Right.
Greenbrier had a
Right.
movie theater inside.
I
saw
try not
that
to watch
movie there.
depressing movies.
Downstairs.
Yeah.
Like
I saw that.
Roots makes me cry.
You know, it used to
Hard
come
movie.
on every holiday, and I couldn't turn away from it.
Right. I used to watch it
It was
now,
crazy.
but it makes my heart sink. It makes me depressed. But I try not to watch depressing black movies. You know, like
I got two of them for you.
Okay,
Right.
that's cool. No,
Right.
I really wasn't trying to put a cap on it. You know,
Right.
2 or 3 is cool.
The Wiz. Yeah, Slick said the Wiz. The Wiz was a good movie.
The monkeys kind of scared me.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Know what? The Wiz was a great movie. I'm gonna put that at number 2. Slick, you right. The Wiz is I watched The Wiz. My ex-wife used to do hair, and she used to braid hair and stuff. That was she had a cosmetology license, and every time she braid hair, we would watch The Wiz and The Warriors. Every time, it never failed.
You can't
Those
win.
two movies.
You can't win.
I like them plight movies, man. Movies that let me know how far we've came, what's going on, so I can never forget the struggle before me. Soldier Story, one of them, and Native Son, another one.
Soldier
Them
Story
two.
is underrated as a mud. That's a
Them
really
two
good movie.
Be the ones I kind of, and I got more. I'll bring them out next time. But
So
yeah, them
besides
two
the
right off the
plight
top of my
movies,
head.
just an entertainment.
Oh, and a funny
like
one,
movie. Give me one.
Shit. I mean, we can go Hollywood Shuffle since he want to do. Since he want to do.
Tommy,
I'm gonna get some stuff
you
in there.
did
You
my
got two.
brother. Man, Hollywood
Yeah,
Shuffle
yeah,
so
yeah.
underrated. Shout out to JoJo, Dr. Tommy, Reggie. That's what we call
Betty,
Reggie.
Betty.
Tommy.
Oh.
That's a
Yeah.
good one, dog. That's a good one.
Man.
For me, man, I was a big fan, man. Shout out to my homegirl Kiki who got me this a couple of Christmases ago because she knew how much I love these movies, man. The trilogy of Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier, man. Let's Do It Again.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And Uptown on Saturday
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Those are two of my favorite movies, man. I can watch those over and over and over again. And I'm gonna give you a third one. Like all of mine are kind of. I mean, I like some that were a little bit more, I guess, informative or serious. But my third one was Boomerang, and I'm gonna tell you why Boomerang was probably my third one. Boomerang was one of my favorite movies to watch because it came right around, or maybe a little bit after we had Boys in the Hood, we had Menace to Society, and I was just like, man. I mean, I love those movies, but I was like, man, can we at least just get a movie where it's just like some decent looking, you know, fly
Berry.
black people, and man, Eddie, he pulled one off with that shit, man. And then it was funny, and then it had all the, you know, that was the first time I remember seeing what's Pop's real name?
Oh, Jonathan Witherspoon.
That was my first time I ever seen Jonathan Witherspoon.
Really?
Ever.
Bang, 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 bang,
You
bang.
know what I'm saying?
Got
You
the
know what I'm saying?
coordinate.
Like that was the first time I ever seen him on anything.
R.I.P.
And you know, R.I.P. to John
Granddad
Witherspoon.
from
man.
Boondocks.
Yeah, Winky Dinky Dog. Okay, that's true.
Boy.
Too. But he really set it off. The bang 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 definitely set it off.
Coordinate.
So,
Coordinate.
I want to ask you this, Mitch. Which one of them movies did your boy Bill Cosby say I'll air condition your head?
That probably Uptown Saturday Night.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all I
Uptown.
needed to know.
And the reason that I like Uptown
Air
Saturday,
condition your head. We already know
Uptown
what
Saturday
that
Night, and
means.
Let's Do It Again. The beginning of Let's Do It Again. Well, they filmed it in Atlanta. They filmed both of them in Atlanta. So you always see the Welcome to Atlanta sign at the beginning and at the end of Let's Do It. You know, for people who never paid attention to that, they filmed it in Atlanta. So
We definitely paid attention.
yeah,
to
Bill.
that.
Yeah, Bill. He was ahead of the curve with that whole Atlanta shit.
Right,
man,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff. So what you got?
Yeah,
what's on the love? He been
I
waiting to
love
get this
Dr.
one off.
You know
What's
what
up?
I'm saying, man? It's close to Valentine's Day. It's close
What's
for
up?
me to get up out this thing. I'm gonna pow, 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 fire my shot real quick.
What's up?
Hey, man, so you know it's that time. So all I gotta say, man, if she's into this, you might want to buy her the flowers that she can smoke, and you just might get her to choke. But either way, she gonna have something in her mouth, player.
Oh wow! Give him a pow for that, Lab.
Hey, I like doing him like that. I like doing him like he ain't even want to give me my little bomb, but that's
Oh,
cool.
my bad.
But tell something. Yeah, you had to think about that.
Think
Nigga, I
about
know,
it for
I
a
know.
second. I had to.
Yeah. You can light that thing up and pass it.
Yeah, man. Man, you know, we gonna sign off with the Love Doctor, man. You know, this is Valentine's
Hold on,
Day
Love Doctor. Let me
coming
give
up.
you
What's
one
happening?
thing.
Oh, go ahead,
Simon
Lab. What's up?
Misfit says if we celebrate Valentine's Day between now and the 12th, we don't go together. So if we're not doing it on the day.
We doing a lot of stuff leading up to it.
Slick milk that
Hey,
thing.
look, hey,
You got
look,
2
look.
weeks, milk it.
Look, Lab, Slick. I'm a be in jail on Valentine's Day. Then the next day I come out and I'm just playing. But nah.
Right.
But nah. But nah, quick word, man, from the Love Doctor, man. You know what I'm saying? Valentine's Day coming up, man. And if mysteriously, man, your lady's location goes off, if you tracking her location and it goes off, man, that mean her clothes off too, man.
Oh!
Sign off. We gonna sign off with that, man.
Black History. We out.
Black History, man. Black History.
You
love,
can't get
man.
through
Love.
on until if she don't answer, it goes straight to voicemail.
Yeah, man.
She with another mail.
It's gone, man. Yes, sir. The other man.
We're gonna see y'all next Monday. We'll
See y'all
have
next
something a
Monday,
little bit
man.
for them women next Monday,
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
We out.
Yeah. Grams leaders CC's pounds. Close gap, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your toast up, cut this up, host up, and get your toast up. This for them voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I got to elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that death, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in them trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people. Tune in, catch it closer, 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 a closer. Grams of it, tune leaders of it, closer, pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, leaders of it, pounds.